What's going on? Welcome to the DZ Report. Don't you know I love haters? Love all y'all. Wish I had longer arms I could hug all y'all. Peacemaker season 2 was awesome. I don't like to do episode by episode, but I might start doing that to put some content out on the burner account. I'll talk about Gen V later tonight. Gen V season 2 is awesome. I think it's better than The Boys, in my opinion. Some people might say, nah, you don't know what you're talking about, but it's kind of hard to compare those shows because The Boys has already been made and done, like signed, sealed, and delivered. So now it's like, okay, well, you can't really compare it because they have source material they can turn to. But at the same time, they can also, create some things in there, because I ain't gonna lie to you, The Boys comic book was trash. I'm not even gonna hold you. I did not like it. I thought the comic was trash. It was way too vulgar, some things. But hey, I mean, everybody's opinion matters on this page. Like, just be respectable, you know. If you disagree with something, just disagree with it. You ain't got to go extra with it. Now, so I'll talk about that because Gen V's really been heating up, and I like how they incorporated The Boys with it. Now, I know y'all tuned in to Peacemaker Season 2. Peacemaker Season 2, I did not know the direction we were going to go into. The alternate reality was great. People said this is from a comic book. I stopped really reading comic books at a certain age, so I got to go to Comics Explained and Blurred Without Fear, the Black Comic Lords, Dope Spill, Comic Pop. I got to go to all these guys, to actually learn about some of those comics, because like I said, I was reading some comics growing up, but I wasn't really into it like that. That was my brother. My brother, he was into him. He was a Deadpool guy. He's a Deadpool guy, so that was his guy. So for me, my favorite was Deathstroke. I liked the Deathstroke, and I liked it. Liked the X-Men. Everybody loved the X-Men. I was a Superman guy because my dad, he loved Christopher Reeves. And also he grew up on the old Superman back in the day. So again, like, those are stuff I love. So that's why I like the new Superman, because the new Superman is comic book accurate. People talk about Cavill. I'm like, well, Cavill was straight, but Cavill to me would have been a better Batman. But a lot of people argue with me, so I don't really care. Henry Cavill's not my Superman. Like, I like this guy. This guy's good. And people talking about, oh, he was getting beat. Well, yeah, because you didn't remember when they said he was only at like 73 or 83%. And, it is what it is. Like, people just love to find to hate something. And I realized that. That's why I start watching certain stuff by myself so I could actually know what's going on. Peacemaker Season 2 basically is the continuation from not only Peacemaker Season 1, but it's a continuation through what happened with the Superman movie. You had appearances by Hawkgirl. You had Guy Gardner in there, which I love that scene. That scene was very funny, well executed. The thing I love about this show is not only the story, the execution of the story is good. Like, yeah, you want it to be as comic book accurate as must, but in the words of Blurred Without Fear, you don't really want too much comic book, in it, where the source material may have been trash. So like, for them to do what they did was good. John Cena is Peacemaker. Like, he has a lot of range for an actor. Some stuff he does, the script just ain't all that. You know what I'm saying? And it's not him. To me, he has a personality. He has range. I think Dave Bautista is better than all of them. All the wrestlers who became actors, who went into that field. But look, I love how they showed his more personable side this season. You know, we realized that he's a man who is always taking orders. Chris is always taking orders, and he's always followed through orders, whether it was good or whether it was bad. Rick Flag Jr., that really haunted him because him and Rick were cool. They were buddies. Like, he loved Rick Flag Jr. because he felt like Rick Flag Jr. was a better man than he was. And it messed him up when he had to unalive him because of Waller. And ever since then, Rick Flag Sr. has had a grudge. He's been upset. He would even stoop to the depths of hell to work with a villain like Lex Luthor to try to take him out. And that's when I realized that, dude, I understand, because if I lost my nieces, they didn't come from me. But if something happened to them, I would be doing the same thing Rick Flag Sr. would do. I would be plotting revenge after revenge to make your life miserable. Seriously. That's what happens when you have love for somebody or love someone. I'll do that even if it happened to my brothers. If it happened to any of my brothers, you know, we're all not blood related, but if something happened to them, I would plot revenge. I'm not even going to hold y'all, because that's the world we live in, and that's why I loved how James Gunn depicted Rick Flag Sr. You know, everything was to the T, like perfect on how he explained like his revenge. So they found this portal and stuff. Chris is dealing with, of course, unaliving his own self. His father, who seemed like he was better than his father he grew up with in his own reality. You know, he took out his brother, he took out his dad, then in the new then in the new world, his brother, like his dad gets taken out, and then his brother gets hurt. You know, it's crazy. Like, it's real crazy what's going on. Thank goodness that you know, he had friends around him, people who loved him, like Hardcore. Hardcore was deeply in love with him, and that's why she was afraid, because she didn't want to give her heart, because she didn't want him to see that side of her. She didn't want to mess it up, because that's what she's always been. With Rick Flag Jr., she could have been with Rick Flag Jr., but for some reason she's like, no, we're good at friends, because she didn't want to, mess it up. And then all season 1, she was beaten. She had a vendetta, of course, against Peacemaker, but she realized that he's really not a bad guy. He's an idiot, but he's not a real bad guy. Like she said, you didn't see the book right there? He was like, well, a guy this buff, I mean, I'm this buff. I wouldn't have been this buff if I was reading books. And he's absolutely right. So, Adebayo, her relationship with him grew big time. She had to let her girlfriend go because her girlfriend was holding her back, and she was holding her girlfriend back. So she's like, look, I gotta go. Like, I don't want to do no damn pet. Really, she ain't want to do none of that pet shit. She wanted to be out in the field. She wanted to, and enjoy. Like, sometimes it's better to do that than just sit at a desk or sit at a business forever. Yeah, you'll be with your partner, but you're not going to be happy. That's why you don't settle. Like, plenty of men and women could have settled, and when they settle, they're miserable, and they take it out on their spouse. So that was really a great depiction of what James Gunn was doing. I loved how he did that. Judo master, and I can't think of my brother's name, the black man name. Damn, he's so cool. He's funny as hell. The lady, he's off the ladies' man. He basically, he left because he saw his friends getting unalive, going to different portals. Rick Flag Sr. was trying, of course, find a portal where he could put metahumans and people he don't like in, where, they could just close them off from coming back to their world. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to probably see, we're going to probably see like what's going to happen. Now, there's no Peacemaker season 3. I know people are throwing teaser trailers out there. That looks like AI generated. I don't know if that's real. The teaser trailer thing, that's AI generated. You could tell because Why would Peacemaker have his suit on in the world where he's stuck in? That don't make any sense. So again, unless James Gunn shows it or says anything about it, I'm not buying it. So, like James Gunn said, there's no Peacemaker season 3 right now. So I think I forgot what the next movie is gonna be. Hopefully, you know, with this new wrinkle in the story, we basically got a whole new universe. We really got the DCU from this. This show gets a 4 out of 4 stars. Also, Economo, he's so hilarious. Like, he's the biggest coward, but we got to see him actually step up and show that he really cares. Even though he likes to act like he don't care, but he really cares. Eagly did a great job. I love the scene where he beat up the whole team. You know, the one girl named Tits that your boy called her. You know, I mean, the interaction was great. I loved it. Sasha basically figured out that Rick is crazy. Yeah, she was, you know, sleeping with him, but at the end of the day, she has a moral compass. So they, of course, gonna use Peacemaker as the test subject, which is BS. But you know, Rick Flag Sr.'s still mad. He's still upset when the man was given an order. I would have been pissed off at Waller, but that goes to show you how people are. People attack what's in front of them. They don't attack what's behind that person. Like, the person behind that person was the puppet master. That was the puppet, but instead of you going after the puppet master, you want to take out the puppet, because you know the puppet master, you know she don't play. You know Waller had you taken out like that. That's why you went after him, and you upset because you like, oh, he should have just said F the order and stuff. Well, Peacemaker wasn't in his right mind then. You got to understand, that was a different Peacemaker in Suicide Squad. That was a different Peacemaker. That Peacemaker was different, taking orders, off really, not really there all the way. You know, I might go watch that movie again later. That was a good movie. So yeah, that's how it is. Where do I think this leads us into? This is gonna lead us into Superman 2, which is the Man of Tomorrow. Like I said, I did a video talking about that. Look through the videos through the library, y'all will see it. Where I talk about it, and I watched the Man of Tomorrow cartoon. It was good. It was a good movie, animated movie. It was a good little movie, a good little startup. So they're gonna do that. That's gonna be dope to watch. If they're gonna do it, I think we're gonna have Martian Manhunter. I'm about to say Marvin the Martian. All my old heads know what I'm talking about. Now you got Martian Manhunter who's gonna be in this. Martian Manhunter should be in it. Of course, we might have Parasite. I hope they don't do Doomsday. It's too early. I would do Parasite. But the show was great. I love when they were in the world where the Nazis took over. I'm with Blurred Without Fear. Shout out to him. I'm with him. Like, we're living in Planet X. Only difference is the Nazis didn't really take over, but they honestly, their ideology really has. The ideology of course, the white man to tear down minorities and to continue to tear them down. And then you have people on the internet who sympathize with this. Like, I got to do a video talking about the Ubisoft thing where they were going to do an Assassin's Creed about a slave who joined the guild and just start taking out KKK members, which I don't understand why not. Take them bastards out. They hurt innocent people of color, and they're continuously running this amok now. Now you see America done fell apart. So now what happens when we need help from outside forces? You think anybody gonna come to help us? No. They either gonna come take us over, or they're gonna watch us all unalive ourselves. But Peacemaker, great freaking show. Make sure y'all watch it. I loved the moment him and Hardcore had. I knew they were going to end up together. Hardcore was just being an a-hole because she didn't want to seem like she was soft and mushy. She didn't want to seem like she was, you know, soft and all of that. She should have been got with Chris. She was just held back. She was taken aback, even though she was messing around with Rick Flag's son, but still. It is what it is. You had Junior, it is what it is. Like, Peacemaker loves you, wants to be with you, build the future with you. Go ahead and give him a chance. So, again, make sure you like the video, comment, subscribe. If you want to donate to the page, you can go to the Cash App in the description box, or in the live, you'll see it pinned at the top. Share this to all your platforms. And let me know in the comment section, what did you feel about Peacemaker Season 2? I give it a 4 out of 4 stars. Let me know what y'all think about it. Tell me if y'all loved it, liked it, hated it, or, you know. But what's next is the next Superman. The next Superman is next, which is Man of Tomorrow. I think the Green Lantern series is coming. I don't know when Creature Commandos 2 is coming. So there's a lot of stuff that looks like we got to see what's coming. Hopefully we get something soon from James Gunn. If you all do know, put it in the comment section, share it to everybody, so you know we can continue this. This is a great universe. I hope it keeps it up. And yeah, you know, and like I said, revenge is bittersweet. Damn. I just want to know if it's dinosaurs. I think it's dinosaurs in that world, because I heard a screech, either dinosaurs or some type of monster. That I want to know what that is. Like, I'm gonna go check out some other places to do some research to see where he's actually at. So thank y'all guys for listening. I'm out. You know, Daisy.